Hello guys, Chris here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce RTX 3060 12GB model in Black Myth Wukong. This one is the AFOX model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups. GPU Z-resizable bar is also enabled, and again, it's the 12GB of GDDR6 version of the card. And over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X 3D CPU with half of its cores disabled, which makes it pretty much the same as a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D instead, which is still very overkill for its GPU, but as long as you don't bottleneck the card, you will get the same FPS. And on the memory tab, we're using 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz RAM in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution, and I'm also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K as usual. We're starting with DLSS set to 100%, which is DLAA, so this is native 1080p here without frame generation. Actually, you can't enable frame generation if you're wondering in this game, because the FSR implementation is FSR 3.0, so if you want to utilize FG here with this GPU, you'll need to do it with FSR, and this actually introduces a little bit of noise at the same time, so I'll just keep using DLSS throughout this video. And on the graphics settings, I am using the custom preset for performance from Hardware Unboxed. These are optimized settings for the best visuals to performance ratio, basically. Now, as you can see, at 1080p resolution, the 3060 is already below 60 frames per second, even with optimized settings in play, and it will likely drop into the lower 40s, possibly into the 30s as well, because there are some intensive scenes going on in this game and some intensive effects as well, and some broken ones like this one right here, which drop our FPS like crazy for a few seconds, and then it goes back up into the 40s, as you can see. So yeah, the game is not terribly optimized for a UE5 title, but it could use a lot of optimization still, that's for sure. And the 3060, well, some people might think it's a bit old at this point. It's 4 years old, I guess, but come on, like, it should be capable of achieving better FPS, in my opinion, with these types of graphics. The 4060, however, was definitely an improvement over this in this particular title. Usually people say, go with a 3060 instead of a 4060. To be fair, 4060 is a very underwhelming upgrade over this, and nobody should go from a 3060 to the 4060, but the fact of the matter is, the 4060 actually got 60 FPS average, higher than the 60 FPS average, actually, at 1080p using these same settings. Oh boy, and it also has the frame generation. This game doesn't care about VRAM, so the 8GB is fine here. Anyway, now we're at 67% resolution scale, which is DLSS quality. Everything else is still the same down here, still optimized settings. And apparently, it's getting close FPS to the 4060 at native resolution. The DLSS in this game does look pretty decent, in my opinion. It's a little bit over-sharpened, unfortunately. I wish we could adjust the sharpening of it, but I prefer over-sharpness to the blurry mess that the DLSS is sometimes in some other titles. You know, there are some new games that don't allow you to adjust the sharpness levels that do it terribly wrong, in my opinion. This isn't one of them. The DLSS quality actually looks pretty decent here, and if you're aiming for that 60 FPS experience, well, the 3060 can provide a decent experience here. Oh my god, please, I'm stuck! God damn it, dude. Okay, wait a second, what should we do? You know what, I should probably spend my mana as well, because I'm gonna go into one of those incense areas and get it back anyways before we go to the boss. Also, the FPS in boss fights are kind of the same as in that forest area, the bamboo forest area that we just saw, and it will drop to the same values as well whenever you hit one of them spells. So thankfully, it doesn't change much in terms of FPS whenever you are in a boss fight. Okay, dropping into the 50s sometimes. If we had frame generation, it would be awesome with this GPU, so if they eventually introduce FSR 3.1 into the mix, we could see 100 FPS average or something like that with the 3060 when using DLSS at the same time. Again, that's possible with FSR 3.1 only, not 3.0, and the one that we have here is 3.0. Oh my god, I can't use the incense now. We died with normal enemies. This is terrible. Dropping into the 40s there. Come on. There we go. Beat the bastard. This is a boss, by the way. Water is usually pretty intensive as well in this game. Forgot to tell you that. Can we do this with the most popular GPU on Steam at the moment? We're almost there. Come on. Oh, he evaded that attack. But I think we got him now. No, not yet. But now we got him. There it is. Now we gotta kill him again because, well, this game is like that. Ah, there he is, the snaky boy. Sneaky boy, we could also say that. Come on, oh my God! You're not sneaky at all, are you? Oh boy. Okay, let me learn his ways first. I am here evading every single time, and he still manages to get me. Flippin' bastard, how am I gonna do this? Oh my God. Okay, there we go. Now put this... I'm useless. I think that's about it, guys, okay? For these settings, at least. Before we go to 1440p, I'm gonna set this back to 100%. Now, I know some of you will like to see some frame generation as well with the 3060, so I'm enabling FSR with FG at the same time, but I'm keeping 100% resolution scale, otherwise it gets really, really noisy. I mean, you can already tell around the character while moving, it's pretty noisy. It's not only because of the frame generation, it's also because of the FSR native that we're using. And as you can see, with these settings, yes, the FPS are a little bit higher, but the input lag is a lot worse than it was before. It's still very doable, especially if you're using a controller. You can play with 70 to 80 FPS just fine. On the mouse and keyboard, I'd prefer like 80 plus all of the time. But I see how many people could actually enjoy the game like this still. And hopefully it won't drop from 60 FPS. Nope, it still does. Alright, so frame generation won't really save the RTX 3060, unfortunately, in those extreme scenarios where the FPS drop the most. But it will make it a little bit smoother, especially on a high refresh rate panel. Most of the time, like right here, just doing this, fighting the bastards, we would be getting close to 60 FPS, lower 60s, high 50s, and now we're constantly above 60 FPS, aside from when that's over or the transition takes place. So, it is a way to play the game. Do I like it? So, I'm gonna stop it there, okay, and I'm gonna go back to DLSS here, and instead of using the custom optimized settings, which have a lot of things on cinematic, which aren't intensive, you don't lose a ton of FPS going from like medium to cinematic, and I'm just gonna set it to medium. So, medium settings preset this time. I'm gonna restart the game to make sure that everything applies properly. I mean, you know what? Since it's dropping so much already from 60 FPS in this area without anything happening, maybe it's not even a 1080p medium settings card these days. What a disappointment. I mean, can't really be mad at the GPU itself. It wasn't really good value back when it came out. 3060 Ti wrecked it completely in terms of performance, but at the same time, these games have gotten so intensive that I just can't really blame most of the cards, at least. It is pretty bad, guys. I mean, the performance is decent. The fact that we get this performance at 1080p medium with so much shadow popping and so on is pretty bad, okay? And the fact that it still drops from 60. If it was 60 plus all of the time, I'd be semi-happy, I guess. I'm gonna stop it right there, though, and try DLSS quality next, which will probably fix the drops into the 50s, right? I hope. It gained like 10 frames per second. Not even DLSS gets you massively higher FPS. Well, most of the time, I guess it does. We're up into the 90s sometimes. Over here, it would drop to like 55. We're getting 10, 12 more frames per second than that. Not bad, you know. I get that this is a very beautiful game at max settings and super hard to run because of path tracing and ray tracing and so on. But with medium settings, this should run like this on like what? A GTX 1660 Ti or something like that. 1660 Super. At least comparing it to older titles that look similar to medium settings in this one. Okay, here we go. Come to me, Papa. Come to me! Alright, let's kill the bastard once again. Go into the fiery boy right now. Okay. And he's just standing by, so I'm just going to do this. There we go, again. Okay, again, please. Again. Yeah. Lose HP, mother effer. All right, there we go. I didn't even see if the FPS dropped, but I don't think so, since the 1% lows are pretty much the same as they were before. No, 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 this is terrible. This is awful. Let's go, boy, I'm gonna get you, you... No, I'm not. Anyway, see, it didn't really drop too much there, even with a fiery boy. So it's stable at the very least with DLSS quality, 1080p, and medium settings. So let's keep the medium settings now. DLSS is set to 100%, and I'm gonna go up to 1440p, which I'll need to change in the desktop because this game doesn't have a full screen mode, only borderless. We're getting 40s around here, which means that it will drop into the low 30s. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe because we're on medium settings instead of the cinematic settings now, that's why it doesn't drop as much changing forms to the fiery boy. Is that it? Where's my fiery boy form? Why? Oh, I probably used it previously. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the incense and rest so I have the fiery boy again. Let's go, fiery boy time! Okay, at least on the medium settings it doesn't have that huge FPS drop, so that's why it doesn't happen here. There is an advantage, big advantage actually, for using medium settings. Okay, let's go with the heavy attack on this boy. No, again, please. Oh boy, no, I felt that slowdown there, but it was probably because I just turned my back into the forest, and yeah, it's way more intensive looking in this direction. So 30s and 40s, native 1440p. Yeah. It's meh, guys. It is playable, especially with the controller. Once again, I gotta emphasize this. I'm playing with mouse and keyboard. It's more noticeable like this. The FPS drops, the lower frame rate as well than it would be otherwise with a controller. So if you want to play with a controller, which is probably the best way to play this, it's easier as well. Just go ahead and do that. I recommend it, and you will feel the lower frame rates less. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it there. That's enough 1440p medium settings native. Let's use DLSS on 67%, which is, again, quality. And this looks pretty good at 1440p. Getting 70 FPS is actually quite good, guys. Okay. I'm a little bit impressed, not gonna lie here. I was expecting it to not get as many FPS as we're getting right now. Maybe even with a fiery boy, since it doesn't drop the FPS that much right now with medium settings, it won't drop too far from 60 FPS, and it will be a pretty stable and smooth experience overall. Let's go over to this area. There should be the big-headed boy right there. Okay, should we fight him, guys? I think we can do it. Hello? Are you searching for me? Wait. Before you do that, let me just attack you and go with a fiery boy now and do an heavy attack as well. A heavy attack. There it is. Take less HP off of him than the other guy, the other boss, you know? It's insane. This guy, holy crap. He has a ton of HP. There we go. Yes, fall to the ground, boy. Come on. Come on. Come on! Again! Hey, wait. This is unfair. No. You run too much. You run too much, buddy. Let's take it easy. He's low HP. So am I. Oh my God! Stop. I'm fine. I almost got my spell again. There we go. I got it. I think now we should be able to get him. Come on. Just fall to the ground again, buddy. Yeah! Wait, does this mean that we'll get some sort of mythical power or whatever? Maybe. So maybe with his power we can actually... It's dropping from 60 FPS, by the way, near the water. But maybe with his power we can beat the other guy. I'm smart sometimes. It just takes a while to get there. Alright, anyway, guys. I think that's probably it for these settings. As you can see, it still drops into the 50s quite often. Now, let's go up to 4K, I guess. All right, here comes the cinematic experience, guys. 4K resolution, 100% resolution scale, medium settings, and, well, it's 20s. Yeah. It's very terrible, isn't it? I'm not going to play like this. Okay, let's just move on from the 4K resolution and use... you know what? I'm going to go with 50% resolution scaling performance DLSS because it still looks pretty good at 4K resolution in this game. You can tell that it's over-sharpened. It's not really native resolution, but it still looks better than like 1440p native, for example, on a 4K display. So it's a viable way to play the game. And let's tackle that boss once again. Actually, after I go to the incense thing to get my stuff back and be fully healed again. Oh yeah, another good thing of playing the game at medium settings instead of the cinematic settings or even the performance optimized settings is that you can... you don't have as much traversal stuttering. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You know what? Let's go. I'm gonna try that again, okay? I'm just gonna wait for him to kill me. Actually, I can see... Wait. The fire effects right now. There we go. Yep, didn't really drop our FPS. Why is he standing still? What did you do? What? Was he bugged or something? The first time that I'm not trying, he bugged himself. And we could have gotten the kill, maybe. I don't know. All right, well, kill me, please. Wait, you can't kill me with this guy, actually. So I'm just gonna wait and attack the bastard here. Try to do some damage. He's also doing some damage to me. Come on, please kill me. I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter, guys. Come on, do the thing. Boom! It takes a lot of HP off of him. That's great. All right. As expected, I guess. Come on. Almost got him. Just a couple more attacks. Yeah. And I didn't even consume a healing potion yet. Come on. All right, let's do the biggest amount of damage that we can for now. Come on. All right. Stay away from him. Oh, bye. No, he doesn't want to stay away from us. I'm fine, though. I'm just gonna regenerate healing. God damn it. Regenerate health. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Shield down! My God! Wait. I'm gonna get him! No! I wasted my mana on nothing. I tried to do the statue spell again, and it didn't work. It's the second time, or actually maybe third time that it hasn't worked in these videos. Come on, regen, stamina again. Okay, fine. 1 HP. Can we do it? It would be absolutely amazing if we could. I'm gonna stop it there though, and I'm gonna change it to FSR on 50% and add frame generation to the picture as well. This is 4K, so it won't look too pixel... Never mind, it actually does. We're also getting some screen tearing as well with FG. For some reason, G-Sync is not working here, and the FPS are not really that high. I was expecting like 90, 100 FPS, not sub 60. I'm gonna turn off frame generation, and I'm gonna go back to DLSS with 50% res. Yeah, we only lost like, what, 10 FPS? Just play like this. If you have a 4K monitor with a 3060, and I know a couple of people who do in the comment section, you can do performance DLSS with medium settings. It will look reasonable, and I guess it can be enjoyable with these FPS. At least, again, like, I have played this game with high refresh rate experiences and so on, and I never got this close to killing that boss. So it's definitely going to be a playable experience. So yeah, performance is lackluster. That's expected coming from a UE5 title. It's very unfortunate, but at least you can still play it on the little 3060. Next up, though, I don't think it's going to be playable. What? I'm gonna go back to 1080p resolution, okay, using FSR quality at the same time, and ray tracing on low. Not gonna do medium ray tracing because that's way too intensive. I'm just gonna set it to low here. The graphics are much prettier this time around. The lighting quality is much improved. The shadow quality is way better than it was before. Okay, look at it at the distance on the ground, for example. It's not a blob of shadowy mess. Okay, what the hell was that? That's the biggest reversal stutter I've ever seen. Holy crap. All right, maybe it was just a one-off, okay? But quite interesting. I'm leaving that. It's how the game's running, okay? I'm going to start counting our FPS. Hopefully, it won't drop too much whenever we go into the Fiery Boy, but it does. Yeah, well, it doesn't drop too much, but since we were already getting mid-30s, it's dropping into the 20s inevitably. And this is with the DLSS quality stuff. Ray tracing also makes the game stutter a little bit more as well. Yeah, I mean, if you want ray tracing, you need a better GPU, especially on UE5 titles, alright? I have a full-on ray tracing video on the RTX 3060 testing like 10 titles or 15 titles, I don't remember, somewhere around that. And it does a decent job. In some of those titles, it does a decent job, but most of the time, you're just better off disabling it. This is kind of like a demo feature on an RTX 3060, quite honestly. Unless you want to play with performance DLSS at 1080p resolution, making things look... Well, it's not too terrible, especially if you play on like a 15-inch monitor, I guess. But yeah, you start losing a lot of detail with DLSS performance. At the very least, it's not pixelated like crazy like FSR was. So there's that. It just has a bit of an oil painting look to it, actually. I think that's the best I can describe it. On YouTube, you can't really tell. Everything will be pixelated because of the compression. So there's that. All right, guys. I think that's been it. I mean, if you want to play with RT, maybe lock your FPS to 30, add a bit of motion blur, play with the controller, and overclock the card a little, then it should sustain those 30 plus all of the time, even when fighting and so on with the fire effect. But I think that you should just disable it, enjoy the game with the optimized settings at 1080p resolution, enjoy it at medium settings, at higher resolutions, still possible even at 4K with performance DLSS, as you saw. And that's been it. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.